Okay, we're going to cook my chocolate ganache tart. So hopefully you followed the recipe and got your short crust pastry ready. So all we need to do now is just flour our surface and we'll get on. So just lightly flour your work surface. And this is where we're going to roll out the pastry. This is so easy and the end result is so yummy. Okay, and now we just need to get the pastry and we're going to cut the pastry in half. Because we're doing 2 tarts, the easy way to do it, just cut the pastry in half now. There we go, and we can leave 1 half to the side. Right, so we just need to start rolling out this half. A good way to do it, just to start off, just to dust your hands in the flour, just pat them in the flour and then just press down, just so that you can flatten it down. You do the job of a rolling pin. Okay, and now all we're going to do is roll the pastry out until it's big enough to sit on your tart tin and have plenty to drape over the edges. But don't worry, we'll be doing it together. So just dust your hands again and then roll then put it on the rolling pin and we'll start rolling out the pastry. So just nice and gently. And to start off with, we just want to check that it doesn't stick to the work surface. So using your palette knife, or an ordinary knife, these things are just easier. Just ease it away from the surface. And see, mine's sticking slightly, so I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. Don't be scared to add more flour, that's there to stop it sticking. And then I'm going to dust the top so that that doesn't stick either. And now, so we've rolled it out in one direction, so I'm just going to turn it and roll it out in the other direction, just so that we're keeping a rough circle shape. There we go. It's nice and easy, does it? And then lift it up again and turn it over. It's just stopping it sticking. Okay, and then just rolling it out a little bit more, and then we're going to do it just so you want to try and make sure that you're not just doing it in the one direction, so it does go into a circle. And then, say, every couple of rolls, just with your palette knife, ease it away from the work surface, just to check that it's not sticking. There we go. And I think we're just about there, but we'll have a look. We'll check that you're in the same stage as I am. Okay, is yours roughly the same size as that? You can just check by putting the tin upside down, there'll be plenty there. So I'll just lift it up and show you how thick this has gone, but yours should roughly be the same. See, it's about a little bit thinner than a pound coin, if you can get that. Okay, so you just need to gently pick up your pastry, so ease it off the work surface, and then bring in one of your tart tins, and all you need to do is just very easily just drape it over the edge. So you're like that. Don't worry, it's not the finished article yet. And then we just need to ease it into the tart. So if you watch what I'm doing, and then I'll give you a little chance to catch up. So I'll do it on this side so you probably see it easier. So just lifting up the edges and then pressing it down into what would be the corners, but it's a circle so there aren't any corners. Into the edges. There we go. And just do that all the way around. There we go. So if you start doing that now, and then once I'm finished, I'll wait for you to catch up. So just pressing it in so that you're getting the shape of the base of the tart. It's nice and easy. And just lifting up the edges just to ease it in. Okay, hopefully you should be with me. And then next, all you need to do is just into where the flutes are of the tin. We need to just pinch into it. So just using your fingers, just press the pastry gently into where the indentations are, so that when you've got your final tart, you'll have that nice shape. So just gently pressing it into the side. Just go all the way around. There we go. Just pressing gently. You should be able to feel it move slightly. I'll turn this round so you can see it on this side. Just pressing nice and gently. And all we're going to do in a second is do exactly the same thing for the other one. Okay. Right. Now, what we can do now, just to make it easier to lift them up and put them on put them onto your baking tray, is just get rid of some of the excess pastry around the edges. Just a little bit. And then we'll trim it up once it's been in the oven. Okay. It just makes it easier to lift up in a second. So we can move this one to the side and then bring in the other bit of pastry. And we just need to flour the surface again. There we go. Pop the pastry down. Dab your hands in the flour. Hopefully you should be remembering this by now. And then just press down on your pastry to flatten it. Check it's not sticking. Move the flour back under it if you need to. And then we start rolling it out. So a little bit of flour onto the rolling pin. Then a couple of rolls in one direction. And then check it's not sticking. Turn it over and then roll in the other direction, so you're rolling out a nice circle. Okay, check it's not sticking. And just keep going until you've got the same size as the last one, which should be almost there. Just a little bit more flour. I think one more roll should do it. There we go. So hopefully you're at the same stage as me now. See, that's nice and easy now you've done it once, isn't it? So bring in your second pastry tin, and then remember it's just draping it on top. Then lifting the sides up and just easing it into the bottom so that you're getting the shape of the bottom of your tin. Just pressing it gently against the bottom. So you'll be going quicker than me now. There we go. So you pressed it into the bottom, and now you just need to press it into the sides, into the little indentations, the flutes. There we go. Just with your finger, nice and gently pressing it in. There we go. And then we just need to trim around, getting the excess off again. There we go. Right, so we can get rid of the excess pastry. Bring your first one in, and And hopefully you should have two that are looking something like this. And the good thing about this is you don't need to be fancy and try and get it to be really neat around the edges, because once it's cooked with a knife we'll just trim it all off, and that's the easy bit and is the cheats bit. So next, with your fork, we just need to prick the base all over, just going all the way through, and then the same on the other one. Okay, and then with your spare little discs, just pop those in the bottom. This is your baking parchment that you use to line the tins. Turn this one over. Just pop these in the bottom of the tart, and then add in your baking beans. If you don't have any of these ceramic baking beans, you can use, if you've got marbles, you could use marbles, or rice, you could use rice. Anything that's just going to really weigh down the baking parchment. So just pour them in just to line the bottom. There we go. Then all you need to do now is just pop these on a baking tray, bung them in the oven for 20-25 minutes. It can't be that more exact with pastry, because sometimes each time it might be slightly different. So 20-25 minutes until they've gone nice and golden brown, and then just take them out of the oven, leave them to rest for 5 minutes and press play again.